Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a generally upward trend, although with some volatility. The price has been fluctuating between the support of $117,100 and the resistance of $124,600. The RSI indicates that the asset has recently moved out of the oversold zone, but hasn't yet entered the overbought zone, suggesting there's still room for upward movement. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the upper band, indicating a potential for a pullback or consolidation. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy that combines elements of trend following and mean reversion. My recommended strategy is to initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 40, with an entry price of $120,900. Place a stop-loss order at $117,100, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. Set a target price of $124,600, near the resistance level. If the price reaches the target, take profit and consider re-entering on a pullback. If the RSI reaches above 80, consider taking profit and wait for the price to retrace to the middle of the Bollinger Bands. This combined strategy aims to capitalize on the overall upward trend while mitigating risk through strategic stop-loss placement and profit-taking based on RSI and Bollinger Band signals. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a clear upward trend, breaking through the resistance level of $4,600. The RSI consistently fluctuates, dipping into oversold territory, below 30, and then rebounding. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering the forecast for the next week, with prices hovering around $4,480 to $4,570, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $4,480, placing a stop-loss order at $4,450 to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price will be $4,570, aiming to capitalize on the predicted upward movement. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at the prevailing price, with a stop-loss at $4,450 and a target price of $4,570. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we will also enter a long position at the prevailing price, with the same stop-loss and target price. This combined strategy leverages both indicators to enhance entry points and manage risk effectively. The ultimate target price will be $4,680 if the upward trend continues. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a strong uptrend, consistently breaking resistance levels. The RSI has been fluctuating between 50 and 80, indicating bullish momentum but also periods of overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price will be $1,230. The stop-loss should be set at $1,200 to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price is $1,350, aiming to capture a significant portion of the forecasted upward movement. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, consider an additional entry at $1,250 with a stop-loss at $1,220 and a target price of $1,380. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it signals a potential buying opportunity, with an entry at $1,280, a stop-loss at $1,250, and a target price of $1,310. This layered approach allows for capturing multiple opportunities within the prevailing uptrend, maximizing potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and slight upward movement. The support price consistently remains at $2.78, while the resistance is around $3.09. The RSI fluctuates between 38.4 and 57.6, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the lower band, suggesting a potential for a bounce. Combining these factors, I recommend a strategy that capitalizes on short-term price swings while respecting the established support and resistance levels. My proposed strategy is a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals with a focus on risk management. Firstly, enter a long position at $2.81 when the RSI falls below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Set a stop loss at $2.77, just below the lower Bollinger Band, to protect against a potential breakdown. The initial target price is $2.95, aligning with the center of the Bollinger Bands and a reasonable profit margin. If the price reaches $2.95, consider moving the stop loss to break even to secure profits and potentially allow for further upside. A secondary target price is $3.04, near the previous resistance level, but this is more ambitious and should be re-evaluated based on market conditions. This strategy aims to capture short-term gains while minimizing risk through strategic stop-loss placement. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana demonstrates a slight upward trend. The RSI consistently fluctuates between 35 and 60, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the price has tested the resistance level of $221 multiple times, suggesting potential for a breakout. Considering the forecast data, the price is expected to remain around $221 to $227 for the next week. Therefore, I propose a moderately bullish strategy with a focus on short-term gains. My strategy involves entering a long position at $221 plus $0. The stop loss should be set slightly below the support level at $211 plus $10, protecting against a potential downside reversal. The initial target price is set at $234 plus $0, aligning with the recent resistance level. If the price reaches $234 plus $0, consider moving the stop loss to break even to secure profits and potentially ride further upward momentum. This strategy combines support and resistance levels with technical indicators for a balanced approach, aiming for a $13 profit while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a slight upward trend. The RSI values fluctuate between 40 and 60, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the recent RSI values are trending upwards, suggesting increasing bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been widening slightly, which can indicate increased volatility and potential price movement. The support price remains consistently at $0.231, while the resistance has been around $0.249. Considering the forecast, the price is expected to hover around $0.257 to $0.259, suggesting a continuation of the current trend. Therefore, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.254. Given the support level at $0.231, our stop loss will be set at $0.231. Our target price will be $0.267, based on the recent high and the forecast. This strategy combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals, aiming to capitalize on the anticipated upward movement while mitigating risk with a well-defined stop loss. The portfolio will be 60% long Dogecoin, 30% in stablecoins, and 10% in other altcoins to diversify the risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON exhibits a slightly upward trend with recent consolidation. The RSI fluctuates around the mid-range, indicating neutral momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the middle band, suggesting a potential for sideways movement or a slight correction. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the price touches the support level of $0.333. The stop loss will be set slightly below the support at $0.328 to mitigate potential losses if the price breaks down. The initial target price will be the recent resistance level of $0.346, offering a reasonable profit margin. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 20, oversold, near the support level, it strengthens the buy signal. Conversely, if the price approaches the upper Bollinger Band, $0.35, while the RSI is above 80, overbought, we'll consider taking profits or tightening the stop loss. A secondary target could be set at $0.35, but this will depend on the price action and momentum. The portfolio will prioritize this moderately bullish strategy, allocating 60% of capital, with 20% allocated to a conservative strategy and 20% to a highly speculative strategy. The conservative strategy will focus on holding above the $0.333 support, while the speculative strategy will aim for a breakout above $0.35. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano has shown a fluctuating trend with a recent upward bias. The RSI consistently stays above 40, indicating a bullish sentiment, but occasionally dips below 50. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of volatility, with prices occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering the support price of $0.781 and resistance of $0.928, I recommend a long position strategy. The entry price will be $0.821, slightly above the forecast price for October 14, 2025. The stop loss will be set at $0.781, aligning with the support price to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.873, near the recent high, with a secondary target of $0.928, aiming for the resistance level. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI falls below 35, it indicates an oversold condition, presenting a buying opportunity. Conversely, an RSI above 55 suggests an overbought condition, signaling a potential pullback. Combining these signals with Bollinger Bands, if the price touches the lower band and RSI is below 35, it's a strong buy signal. If the price touches the upper band and RSI is above 55, it's a potential sell signal. This combined strategy will allow for dynamic adjustments to the entry and target prices, maximizing potential returns while mitigating risk. The portfolio will prioritize the combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy for optimal efficiency. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH shows a clear uptrend, breaking through the resistance price of $4,960. The RSI consistently moved above 30, indicating a bullish momentum. The forecast predicts a continued upward trajectory, with prices expected to reach $4,930 within the week. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price should be $4,830. Considering the support price of $4,790, the stop loss should be set at $4,790 to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be $4,930, aligning with the forecast. To further refine the strategy, we can incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price is currently trading above the upper band, suggesting a potential pullback is possible. If the price retraces to the middle band around $4,870, it presents an opportunity to add to the position. The stop loss can be adjusted to break even to protect the initial investment. If the price reaches the target of $4,930, consider taking partial profits and setting a trailing stop loss to capture further gains. This combined strategy leverages the bullish trend, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands to maximize returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink shows an overall upward trend, with prices fluctuating between the support level of $20.9 and a resistance level of $22.6. The RSI indicator has been oscillating around the 40 to 50 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the forecast for the next week suggests a stable price around $22.3, with slight dips to $21.9. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price is currently near the upper band, suggesting a potential pullback. Therefore, I recommend a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Bands. My proposed strategy is to initiate a short position at $22.3. Given the price is near the upper Bollinger Band, a slight correction is expected. Set a stop loss at $22.6, just above the recent resistance, to protect against unexpected upward movements. The target price is set at $21.9, aligning with the forecast low and the lower Bollinger Band. This strategy aims to capitalize on a potential short-term pullback while managing risk with a conservative stop loss and a reasonable target price. The portfolio is 60% short position, 20% cash, and 20% for future opportunities. Based on the historical data and forecast, PAX Gold exhibits a strong uptrend. The RSI consistently remains above 70, nearing the overbought territory of 80, indicating bullish momentum. The forecast suggests continued upward movement, with prices potentially reaching $4,160. Considering the RSI and Bollinger Bands, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on pullbacks within this uptrend. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips slightly below 70, around $3,610, placing a stop loss just below the lower Bollinger Band at $3,580. The initial target price will be set at $3,900, aligning with previous resistance levels. To maximize potential returns, we will implement a trailing stop-loss strategy. As the price moves above $3,900, we will adjust the stop-loss to protect profits, following the lower Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $4,000, we will move the stop-loss to $3,850. Finally, if the price reaches $4,160, we will take partial profits and move the stop-loss to $3,980, securing a significant gain while allowing the remaining position to run further. This dynamic approach combines trend following with risk management, aiming for high returns while mitigating potential losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, EIGEN Eigenlayer shows a clear upward trend with recent price fluctuations. The support price consistently remains at $1.72, while the resistance price is significantly higher at $3.52, indicating substantial room for growth. The RSI values have mostly stayed above 50, fluctuating between 43.1 and 61.9, suggesting a moderately bullish sentiment. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, implying increased volatility and potential for price swings. Considering this, I propose a long position strategy with an entry price of $1.86. To mitigate risk, set a stop-loss at $1.72, right at the support level. The initial target price should be $1.98, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and recent resistance levels. To capitalize on the forecast data, which predicts a continued upward trend, I suggest a second entry at $1.94. The stop-loss for this entry should be $1.86, and the target price should be $2.01, based on the forecast. If the price reaches $2.01, consider taking partial profits and maintaining a trailing stop-loss to secure gains. The combined strategy prioritizes riding the upward trend while managing risk through strategic stop-loss placements. This portfolio balances the potential for high returns with a conservative risk management approach, crucial for long-term success in volatile markets. Based on the historical data and forecast, Aptos has shown a clear uptrend from September 24, 2025, to October 7, 2025. The price has consistently tested and bounced off the support level of $5.2, while the RSI has remained largely above the oversold level of 20, indicating continued bullish momentum. The forecast for October 8, 2025, to October 14, 2025, projects further price increases, with the center of the Bollinger Bands trending upwards. Therefore, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $5.31. To manage risk, set a stop-loss order at $5.2, just below the established support level. For the target price, I suggest $5.54, aligning with the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. To optimize returns, I propose a portfolio strategy that combines RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. Given the RSI values are generally above 40, we should prioritize the upward trend. The Bollinger Bands indicate that the price is approaching the upper band, suggesting a potential pullback. Therefore, I recommend entering a long position at $5.31, with a stop-loss at $5.2 and a target price of $5.54. This strategy capitalizes on the current uptrend while incorporating risk management measures based on established support and resistance levels and the dynamic Bollinger Bands. Based on the historical data and forecast, SUN token shows a slight upward trend with fluctuating volatility. The price has been trading within a defined range between $0.0249 and $0.0327, with the RSI fluctuating around 50, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show a narrowing trend recently, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering the RSI and Bollinger Bands, I recommend a combined strategy focusing on potential breakout opportunities. My strategy involves a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will enter a long position when the price touches the support level of $0.0249 and the RSI falls below 50, indicating a potential oversold condition. The entry price will be $0.0249. Place a stop-loss order at $0.024 to limit potential losses. The first target price will be the resistance level of $0.0327. If the price reaches $0.0327, we will move the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.0249 to secure profits. The second target price will be $0.035. This combined strategy leverages the support and resistance levels, RSI's oversold signals, and the Bollinger Band's volatility indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Trust Wallet shows a clear upward trend. The price has been consistently moving higher, with recent highs reaching $1.63. The forecast for the next week predicts continued growth, with prices potentially reaching $1.77. The RSI consistently above 60 indicates bullish momentum. Considering the support price of $1.54 and the resistance price of $1.69, we can implement a strategy focused on capitalizing on this trend. I recommend a long position entry at $1.53. A stop-loss should be placed just below the support level at $1.52 to protect against potential pullbacks. The initial target price should be set at $1.63, near the recent high and within reach of the forecast. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it indicates a potential oversold condition, which aligns with our RSI oversold level of 20. Conversely, the upper band suggests an overbought condition, corresponding to the RSI overbought level of 80. Given the current upward trend and the forecast, I suggest a portfolio strategy that prioritizes the long position. If the price retraces to $1.53, enter a long position with a stop-loss at $1.52 and a target price of $1.63. If the price reaches $1.63, consider taking partial profits and moving the stop-loss higher to protect gains. This combined approach, leveraging both RSI and Bollinger Bands, should maximize returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Sonic shows a mixed trend with recent upward momentum but currently in an oversold territory according to the RSI. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating a potential for a rebound. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, suggesting a potential breakout. Considering these factors, I propose a contrarian strategy focusing on capitalizing on the potential bounce. We will initiate a long position at $0.273, placing a stop-loss order at $0.268 to limit potential losses if the price continues to decline. Our initial target price will be $0.298, aiming to capture a portion of the anticipated rebound. To refine this strategy, we will implement a dynamic target price adjustment based on the Bollinger Bands. If the price reaches $0.281, we will move the stop-loss to $0.273 to secure profits and reduce risk. If the price reaches $0.298, we will set a new target price at $0.31, aiming to capture further upside potential if the price breaks through the resistance level. This strategy combines RSI-based entry with Bollinger Bands-driven target adjustments, providing a balanced approach to maximize returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a strong uptrend, consistently breaking resistance levels. The RSI has been fluctuating between 50 and 80, indicating bullish momentum but also periods of overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price will be $1,230. The stop-loss should be set at $1,200 to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price is $1,350, aiming to capture a significant portion of the forecasted upward movement. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, consider an additional entry at $1,250 with a stop loss at $1,220 and a target price of $1,380. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it signals a potential buying opportunity, with an entry at $1,280, a stop loss at $1,250, and a target price of $1,310. This layered approach allows for capturing multiple opportunities within the prevailing uptrend, maximizing potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, DeXe exhibits a strong upward trend. The price has consistently broken through resistance levels, and the forecast indicates continued growth. The RSI values, while fluctuating, have generally remained above 60, suggesting bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands also confirm this trend, with the price consistently trading above the middle band and expanding towards the upper band. Therefore, my strategy focuses on capitalizing on this uptrend. I recommend entering a long position at $12.2. Given the support level at $9.29, I set a stop-loss order at $11.5 to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price is $12.7, aiming to capture a significant portion of the forecasted upward movement. To further refine the strategy, I incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the RSI dips below 30, oversold, it presents a buying opportunity. Conversely, when the RSI exceeds 70, overbought, it signals a potential pullback. Considering the forecast and Bollinger Band's expansion, I will adjust the target price to $12.9 if the price reaches $12.7 and the RSI is below 70. This dynamic adjustment allows for maximizing profits while managing risks. The portfolio will prioritize the upward trend and incorporate RSI and Bollinger Bands for fine-tuning, resulting in a high-return investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, PancakeSwap demonstrates a clear uptrend, particularly evident in the recent price surge and the forecasted upward movement. The RSI consistently moved above 50, indicating a bullish momentum, with values nearing overbought territory on October 7, 2025, at 75.5. The Bollinger Bands also support this trend, with the price consistently moving towards the upper band. Therefore, a long position strategy is recommended. We will enter a long position at $3.58, placing a stop-loss order at $3.42 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $4.3, aligning with the forecast for October 14, 2025. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 45, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider adding to our position at the prevailing price, with a stop-loss slightly below the recent low. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it presents another opportunity to enter or increase the position. We will adjust the target price to $4.68, the current resistance level, and consider trailing the stop-loss upwards as the price appreciates to secure profits. This blended approach combines trend following with mean reversion, maximizing potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, FR has shown significant volatility with periods of both upward and downward trends. The RSI consistently indicates oversold conditions, often below 20, suggesting potential buying opportunities. The forecast for the next week predicts a downtrend, with prices decreasing from $0.917 to $0.848. Considering the support price of $0.942, I recommend a long position strategy. The entry price should be $0.848, with a stop-loss set at $0.828, just below the forecast low, and a target price of $1.22, aiming for a substantial profit. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it signals a potential oversold condition. Given the forecast and the support level, I suggest a cautious approach. Enter a long position at $0.917, place a stop-loss at $0.897, and set a target price at $1.11. This strategy balances the potential for gains with a reasonable level of risk, capitalizing on the anticipated price movement while protecting against significant losses. The RSI and Bollinger Bands confirm the potential for a short-term upward movement, making this a favorable entry point.